The PlayStation 2 Slim may be small, but it's a giant when it comes to gaming history, being produced until 2013, the same year the PS4 came out. But over time, they don't work like they used to. I'm Chris with Titan Repairs, and on this channel, we fix and refurbish old game consoles. Today, we're replacing the thermal pads on this PS2, and we're also going to swap out the laser. So let's head on over to the bench and take a look at what's going on with this. Alright, let's power it on, show you what's going on with it. So let's go into the browser. Huh. Well, that's something it wasn't doing before. Yeah, that's the laser. Let's move it back, see what happens. So I'm thinking the easiest way to see what's going on is to take the lid off, which, when I bought this, I forget where I bought it from. I'm pretty sure it was eBay, but I don't remember the seller, so I don't want to say the wrong people. But these screws and the caps were actually inside here, so this was already open before. So let's take the top of the shell off, because I want to see what's going on. So if you want to manually activate the disk drive with the lid off, what you're going to do is we're going to push down two switches here. Yeah, I see what's going on here. So there's three switches that operate this particular disk drive. There's a switch right here that tells the system that the laser has gone all the way forward and to stop. And then you have these two for the lid. So this I don't think's activating. So what I'm gonna do, just to see if it stops. Yeah, I'm pushing right on that switch and it's not engaging. So I do know that the laser is damaged because it didn't read blue discs when I tested this when it first came in. But full disclosure, before I was doing this video, I want to make sure that the laser came in time, so I did come in here, take the laser out. So I do wonder if maybe something with the ribbon cable might have gotten a little damaged. There's a white tab, you can see it right here. There's one on the laser too. Those come off pretty easily, and this one, particular one, did come off. So, yeah, I gotta see if I have another ribbon cable. That'd be probably the easiest way to test it, to see if maybe something got damaged on the ribbon cable itself. Alright, so I went through my stuff and I do not have any spare ribbon cables that fit this thing, so I'll have to place an order for that. And because working on these takes me a few days anyway for shooting, should have it by the time we're done here. So what I'm kind of thinking is just finish stripping this down, because of course I gotta clean it. So just power it off. So first things first, got to get the disk drive out of here. That ribbon cable was a pain in the butt. Hopefully there's no damage, but I think it'll be fine. Alright, then gotta be careful of the, oh, it just popped out. Yeah, so this is that tab and it comes off very easily. I mean, it's only like vaguely glued down. Alright, so what's good is this actually looks pretty clean, so the cleaning we're gonna have to do on this is gonna be pretty minimal. There's probably a little bit of greasing up when we put the new laser in, but that's pretty much about it. So I'm just gonna set that aside for now. Yeah, don't see any damage, but, you know, like I said, we're gonna replace this. So we might as well just remove it now. Plus, I mean, to get the shielding off, we have to remove the cable anyway. And then there should be 3 screws. There's a fair amount of dust in here, so... Yeah, this little guy has definitely had its share of gaming. Alright, so we definitely have one over here for the controller ports. So I just definitely want to get this board out. And then there's one there. That's for the vertical stand, I believe. Just remove this while we're at it. I feel like I'm still hung up on... Oh, there we are. It was actually loose in there. Alright, so I'm going to wash this, so I'm just going to set this aside for now. So we're on the underside of the RF shielding here, and it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. That's really it. And then there was that one on the other side here. I guess the disk drive screws double up to hold the shielding down on the top. It's pretty clever. Alright, so once we get those screws out, now it's... the shielding is very loose, so we should be able to just take this right off. There shouldn't be anything... Yeah. And then the top will be a little more difficult because it's got the thermal pad, and that tends to hold the shielding on. So I'm just gonna have to try to get this off. Oh. Alright, good. It's actually got this kind of battery, so while we're here, let's replace this battery. Although before I do that, I do want to clean it off real quick. Alright, it really didn't need too much in the way of vacuuming. This is actually a really clean board, so I'm very happy about that. So... that's actually a pretty thin thermal pad. But we'll get back to that in a moment. So, yeah, let's take this out first, just to knock it out. So to take these out, you just gotta put a little screwdriver in, press it in, and then pops right out. So I did see the solid orb on the main screen, so I'm kind of thinking this might be dead. It could also just be that the time wasn't set, but yeah, this basically just keeps time, so it's already in here, we might as well replace it. I hate these packages. I feel like a sea otter trying to crack open a clam. Alright. Now that that's out of the way. So just gonna... That's that. What is nice about these Slims is it's very easy to get into the ports once you take them off. So I think while we're here, so we have easy access. Let's put my contact cleaner in here. Just kind of give them a good clean. Might as well hit these other ones too. You know, just while we're here. Alright, time to replace this thermal pad, but genius me, of course, went online and did a quick Google search and trusted the Google AI to say that it was 1.5 millimeters. Clearly, with how thin this thing is, it is not. Luckily for me, though, I do have still some of my Owltree thermal pads here that I had in a variety pack, and it actually did. I do still have some of the thin ones left, so we'll just have to use this. It's not that big of a deal, really. There's still plenty of things I can use for these, so whatever. Won't go to total waste. Yeah, and honestly, this isn't too bad. It's still pretty pliable, but I just want to match this up. Yep, it is the right size. And by the way, this is 0.5 millimeters. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below for this variety pack, if anybody needs it. Otherwise, I'll see if I can find a substitute that has just the 0.5 millimeter for this particular model. Okay, so first thing I want to do, it's probably just good practice, just clean any residue off. So on older PS2 models, the emotion engine and the graphics synthesizer were separate chips, but on the Slim models, or at least this particular motherboard revision, it's all on one chip. So a little fun fact there. I actually forget, what model is this? This is a 77001. I don't remember if the 70001. I think that one did have both. I don't remember exactly. I'll fact check that and put a little blurb. Good thing about this being on the thinner side, it's a lot easier to cut than the thicker thermal pads. Yeah, for neatness purposes, we'll just snip that down. Although, I don't think that would have been particularly critical. Yeah, of course, fold it over. Alright, so yeah, I think this will be ready to go, but of course I have to still clean all this, so I'm gonna go take this to the sink and give it all a good wash down, and this will be ready for tomorrow. But I guess in the meantime, what we could do is blow this off. There's actually 3 screws on this. Do I have a screwdriver? That's pretty micro. The reason I'm thinking of doing that is because this is being covered here, but there's still dust in the shroud in there. So if I can just take this out real quickly, wipe it down and put it back together, I think that would be most ideal. There's a little tab there that holds it on to the side. Right here, you just got to pry that off. Yeah, we'll only be able to do the best we can. Getting in between these fins is pretty difficult. Even getting fully around the shroud here, it's a little tough, so let's clean it best we can with a cotton swab and It's really all we can do. I don't have anything thin enough that can get in between. But it's definitely better than it was, so. Then I guess it's time to work on the main event here. So what I like about this design is, as opposed to other disk drive designs that Sony has done, is we only have to take out the one rail. On the PS3, they have two rails. Actually, pretty much on most of their consoles they do. But this is definitely a lot simpler. So really all we need to do, from what I can see, is remove these two screws, which should release this rail. And they're teeny tiny screws. So I'm going to put them in my egg carton so I don't lose them. Okay, remove that. Are these the same? I don't want to fall into a trap here, and yeah, they look the same. So it doesn't matter if they're in a particular order or not. Alright, and that's that. Rail's actually cleaner than I thought, especially being an exposed disk drive. It's actually not too bad. And this is that switch. I want to try something now. I want to see if this switch went bad, or maybe there's something else going on with the drive. So let me get out the multimeter. I want to test the continuity on this, and just as an experiment to see. Now, how am I going to close this switch? Okay, maybe if I put that there, hold it down. Yeah, I think this will work. Alright, so the switch works. So then the question I'm having is, why didn't it send the signal to the board to tell it to stop? Or why was it constantly telling it to spin the motor? I hope we don't have another issue. I guess we'll find out, huh? Alright, so there's one other thing we have to take off this laser, and it's because lasers never come with it, but we gotta take the mount for the motor off. Try not to lose it. Lose the screw. I guess while we're at it, I might as well just clean this up, because this is gonna be dirty. Let's get that old grease off. Oh yeah, nice and clean. Let me just continue on with the clean. You know, I was thinking about it in between takes here, and I wonder if maybe the switch wasn't working because of the damage to the ribbon cable here, because it's obviously got to send a signal. Now, remember when I said that I messed this up? Yeah, I mean, this could have just not been making a good connection. It might not have made the signal when I took it apart to get the laser number off camera before I placed the order. That could be what we're dealing with. We'll have to see when the new ribbon cable comes in. But that very well could solve the problem, but we'll see. Yeah, we got a little bit of hair down there. See if I can just suck it up real quick. Oh man, that's wild. I don't know if see if the camera can pick it up. You can see on the metal where the laser was rubbing. We'll definitely have to put a little bit of grease in there. I don't think there was really much grease from the factory. And if there was, it might have kind of worn itself away. Yeah, that's some significant wear right on this metal. Where did this come from? Oh. So don't lose your plastic pieces. Yeah, I just had this little plastic piece fall off, and I just had to put it back. Just be aware of that if you're working on these yourself. Alright, so this is the new laser, and I got this on AliExpress. I'll leave a link in the description to the one that I purchased. I purchased like 4 of these because just in case one was a dud, figure, yeah, might as well have some extras. I'll see if I can also find a link on Amazon for an affiliate link for you if people want to go that route. So, yeah, let's open this up and see what we got. Alright, at least it's wrapped up. That's always good. There should be an anti-solder ball on here too. Oh, yep, I think I see it. And then that should be the anti-static solder ball there. And I gotta be careful with my fingers. So yeah, we gotta remove this. So let's fire up the soldering iron and then I'll be right back. Okay, so bear with me. To catch this on camera is gonna be a little awkward. Yep, and that's all you gotta do. Alright, now the task is starting to put this back together. So first thing I want to do, I just want to lube up the worm gear here. So I'm just using white lithium grease. I'll have a affiliate link in the description below, but you can also get it at any auto part store or hardware store. It's real easy to come by. Okay, that should probably be enough. Let's put a little bit on this rail here. I don't think it was lube before, but it wouldn't hurt. Okay, next up is the guide for the worm gear. This only goes in one way. It's being a little weird there. I think that'll do it. We'll just set the laser aside for the moment. Alright, then next we gotta lubricate this a little bit. You don't have to go too crazy. Laser itself will redistribute the grease. Alright. Maybe we should slot this in first. Yeah, that worked a little better. Ah, damn it, it came out of the slot. There we go. Okay. And the teeth are in there. Alright, so next what we gotta do is we gotta put these metal things back into place. These will hold down the guide rail for the laser. And hopefully you haven't lost these teeny tiny screws. Okay, so everything is together, so we can just set this whole laser assembly aside for now. We're not going to need it for a little while yet. Alright, so this is everything nice and cleaned and washed. So yeah, you might notice the toothpicks in here, but this plastic is actually glued down to here, so to keep the water from being stuck underneath, I threw in these toothpicks. Actually did a good job. It drained everything out. So yeah, we can start putting things back to where they belong. We'll just set the shell aside for now. We'll get there when we get there. Alright, so we're going to take the bottom shell here, and then we're going to just kind of start putting everything back together. It's just the easiest way to do it this way. Whoops, missed a step. So, yeah, we got 4 screws we got to put on the back. I completely forgot about that. So, it's going to be a real pain to line up. The first one should go here. So, I'm going to try to figure out where they go, because I honestly kind of forget. If you look really closely, you'll see like an indent coming out this way. That's where the screw is going to be coming through. But if it's flat like it is right here, that's going to tell me that there's a screw that's supposed to go there. And we got 2 more. So the next one I see should go here. Okay, that's going to come through. This one I know comes through. Oh, right there. Okay, so here's another way you can gauge where those 4 screws go on the back too. If you look here, you see these kind of brass gold looking posts. This is where those screws are screwing into. So that's another way you can tell as well. Alright, so let me give this one more wipe down, because now I got my fingerprints all over and I do not want that to corrode over time. Because I've definitely opened up PS2s before, well, game consoles in general, that had like perfect fingerprints on them. Just wipe those off like it's a crime scene. And that should do that. And now we can flip this back into the shell. Okay. Now we just have a few more screws to put in. Right, so we got one right here. One should go there. And the last one goes there. And another quick wipe down. Alright, next up we're going to put the fan back in. Just lines up, falls in place. 1, 2, 3 screws. You can't forget to plug it in. Alright. Now all we got to do is put the laser back in and plug that all together. But first, we got to reattach the new ribbon cable. Alright, well I think putting this on, it's going to be a little hard to screw it up. pretty much says where it's got to go. I think that's fine. Okay, that's securely in. And then we will plug these things in here. And the motor ribbon cable, and this should be it. All we gotta do is put these in. Let's do one more final check, make sure everything is good. Oh, we did forget something. We gotta put the power button in. Okay. Alright, so we won't do a full thing yet. I just want to see what's going to happen when we boot this up. Alright. So did you see that? We had a red laser. Yeah, laser's moving exactly how it should be. Great. And we got this little metal piece that's got to go here. Never know when somebody's going to be putting a vertical stand on. Yeah, we're gonna put we'll put the screws back in. Probably gonna regret this. Hopefully I don't regret this, but at least maybe the ones in the corners. I don't like how that doesn't open all the way. I think it's just worn plastic. Alright, well, let me finish plugging this in and I'll bring you in front of the TV and we'll see if this all works. Alright, let's do this. Well, that's always a good start. Alright, let's just go into the browser. So, I got two games here. I got Cabela's Trophy Bucks, which is a DVD game. And then Triggerman, which is a CD game. So we got to make sure that it reads both silver and blue. So we'll start with Trophy Bucks. Oh. Shoot. Now I remember what was going on with the spindle. So we might still have to deal with the spindle. I'll bring you all in on that after we do this. Okay, so it does read silver. We'll just make sure it reads this first and then we'll worry about the spindle. Yeah, loading everything up, it seems fine. Very fast too, very fast. Now the spindle seems fine. Gonna have to really look at this. Alright, that picked that up real quick too. Alright, I'm going to actually start this game. The reason I'm doing that is because like it always seems like the blue discs always have the trouble reading. So we might as well just give it a try. Don't worry, there's actually no dialogue in this game. I think this game came out in 2005 or something like that. Yeah. And again, it's loading pretty quickly. Okay, cool. I'm satisfied. Let me show what's going on with this spindle. Okay, so we're gonna go back into trophy books here. We're not gonna boot it up. We don't need to. Let me just double check. Yeah, this seems fine. I don't think there's anything with the disc. Let's see if it's gonna do it again. Maybe it just needed to work through. Yeah, it's doing it on this one. So you gotta push down pretty hard in the individual spots for it to lock the disc in. It's not supposed to do that. So I think we're gonna have to probably replace this spindle. Yeah, I can't sell this to somebody like that. We're gonna have to do something with this. Okay, so we are in a little bit of a pickle here. I do not have another 77001 PS2. So I was going through some of the other scrap ones that I have. I do have an earlier one. I think it's a 70,000. But unfortunately, this ribbon cable is not going to be compatible. The spindle and everything looks the same, but the ribbon cable is going to have to be flipped. So this isn't going to work because I would just rather have something a little on the simple side. But I think the best candidate we have is, this is a 90,000, I believe. I can't tell for sure. Just by the looks of it, it looks like a very later model. I actually don't know what the issue is with this one. I don't have any notes on it. But it's got a close enough spindle, and it has the ribbon cable going in the right direction. Albeit it's a little longer, but I think that that's going to be okay. So I think all we're going to have to do is just unscrew these two and just swap them over. So we'll start with the donor. Yeah, there's a fourth screw there. Whoops. Okay, now we're free. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, we'll put this one aside. Should test that one. I think that came in the same lot as this one, but I don't know why it's not tested. Was missing the screws. There's clearly a catastrophic failure with it. Now, I did actually look up the part online, and I did it really quickly on like eBay and Amazon. I didn't find anything on Amazon for just the spindle, but it does seem like I can get them easy enough on eBay, but the price on eBay is the exact same price as if I bought the whole mechanism with the laser and everything, so that doesn't really make much sense. So we are not going to be doing that, obviously. And I think this will be fine. Why doesn't this screw want to go in? Are they different? Yeah, I think it's different. Oh yeah, that one's skinnier. You know what? The skinnier one will go there. Yeah, pay attention to that. Okay. Let's put the lid back on and see what happens. All right. Last try. All right, cool. Yeah, I gotta press this down because I didn't screw it together this time. So just do one more test with Trigger Man, make sure it reads the blue disc. And I think we are good. Great. So yeah, this little fella didn't turn out half bad. I mean, I'm very happy with the way that it came out in the end here. So it looks clean. And all we had to do internally was replace the laser, the spindle, and some fresh thermal pads, and this thing's ready to go for a good long time. So this will definitely make somebody happy, whoever owns this next. So yeah, this one's in the bag, ready to go. So I think what we're gonna do to close out this video is we're gonna play one of my favorite games that I had back in the day. So I got my PS2 Christmas of 2001, like 2 months after it launched, and I got 3 games when it came. I had SSX, Smuggler's Run, and the game that we're going to be playing today that I put probably the most amount of hours in, that's TimeSplitters. So let me plug this back in, grab my memory card, and we'll shoot up a Chinese restaurant. Stay tuned. Alright, we're here on the main screen. Let's hit one up. And yes, I know, Dark Warrior. I was so cool in the year 2000. Let's go to story. Wow, I never did any hards? That's odd. I know I'd never beat 1965 Mansion on normal, because I'm missing one. I'm missing one extra map. Where are we? There we are. Now this is the one I want. And we'll do Harry Tipper. Oh yeah. God, he's such a staple of the series. I fucking love him. That's right. Alright, let's get going. Loading. Loading. Alright, so it's been quite a few years since I played this game, so hopefully I don't suck at it. I did do kind of one quick practice run through arcade, but I think I'll be alright. There's auto aim and stuff like that, so. Alright. I could definitely use the Uzi. Shit, who's shooting me? You, jerk. You know, back when this game first came out, I have to say the glass breaking was amazing to me. I mean, it just blew my mind because, like, when you used to play games without, like... hold on. I'm losing my train of thought here. Jesus. I can't even see these guys. Especially since I have a light in my face right here. So anyway, what I was saying about the glass is, it was absolutely amazing back in the day, because, like, you didn't have physics like that in games before then. Holy crap. I need help. That's what I need. Get up, you jerk. Yeah, not only that, but the glass blows out in the direction the bullet's traveling. It's just kind of unheard of. And then the details. Get the gun. Ah! Let's try running through that again. I think I can do better. Okay. Just relying on the auto aim. Because aiming down the sights is very finicky on this game. They didn't quite have it at the... Okay. How am I doing on the... Nah, still don't really have a lot on the M16. Screw you. Okay, now we'll get the health. I was hoping there'd be like armor or something underneath there. I mean, I know I used to play the shit out of this game back in the day, but... Yeah, it's great, because I'm not allowed to throw grenades, but they clearly are. Nope, I see that coming. Okay, that should take care of them. I don't think there's anything in here. Except this jerk. I wish there was a health there. Got him. Okay, I want that music come back. Ooh yeah, Uzi ×2. Now the pain's really gonna come. Yeah, that's what I want. It's probably somebody in here. I'll take that, thank you very much. Yeah, where's like the epic music? What the hell happened to it? I just lost like all my armor. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, take that. Look at that glass fly. Okay. Now I gotta get serious. Hopefully there's health here. Yeah, blow yourselves up. even have enough health for this. Okay. Shit, 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 shit. Leave me alone. Now we gotta get back to the beginning while these things are chasing after me. Which, I mean, a normal person would probably just dive through the window, but, you know, video game logic here. Oh my god, I hear them. Run! Run! We need some escape music, like a little Benny Hill or something like that. Whew! There we go. Oh, these scores are awful. Alright, so yeah, so that'll wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.